Okay, so you are in now, Mr. Promise. Can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Promise, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
From the Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, let me connect it.
Because it's only two of us that are in. So I'm talking and you are not hearing.
Yeah, well, were you hearing me?
You've not said anything.
Okay, let me see.
Your microphone is not yet showing. So there's something you've not done well. I'm only seeing you, but I can't hear anything from you.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'm hearing you now.
You can hear me now very well.
Yes.
All right, so we are good to go.
Can you share your screen and try and be sure your screen is showing?
I'm not just seeing your picture. Okay, let me.
I'm not, I muted my video, so you can't see my picture. Can you share your screen?
If I can share, let me.
Your PowerPoint.
That's what I wanted to use my laptop, but I'm having challenge with that. That's why I have to first of all connect through my phone. You know.
So how will you share your PowerPoint? Because you're going to teach with your PowerPoint.
Anyway, I'm still trying this the system. This is serious.
Do you have the PowerPoint in your phone?
It's in my phone.
I think the best thing is to connect your system so that it will be easy.
Let me see what I can possible.
And just connect to your system. That's you need your system for you to showcase what you, and your Zoom name is showing Infinix Hot 7. You need to rename yourself.
Response. Let me do that first. Okay. Share.
You're sharing your screen, but okay, it's showing now.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
showing in
trying
a very
to
small,
this. It's showing a very what?
in a very small way. Just show it again. Let me see. I'm not seeing it again.
Wait, don't worry. I'm trying to load them one after each because the challenge I'm having is, this system I'm using is not my system. I found out that the guy does not have the Zoom, the Zoom downloaded in the system, and I've been trying to download it. Okay, you're seeing this now, eh?
But it's showing very small. It's not readable. Okay, better now. Because no. It's out of context. Yeah, it's okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the only challenge I'm having is taking time to load per page. Okay.
Can you start from the very first page and run it down
I
so
will.
that
I will. I just want to ensure that they are moving the whole slide is okay. I just want to be sure that the whole slide is going. It's just only going to take a few seconds and it will load. All right. I'll start from the very first page. I'm going back. Okay. This is the very first page, eh?
this one, the picture on the slide is closed.
Yeah, it's not showing.
With one greenish thing.
It's not showing. It's not showing.
It's awful. I hope you know.
I know quite well.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I will bring it up again and see if it will show the right.
Okay. Our time will soon be here. I know very soon people will start coming in.
Yeah. This was the first. This is the first one.
Yeah, this is good.
No, this cannot go because this is the first one that you said I should take off video, film. Okay. You understand? Let me see something. Let me do something now.
No, but I have something
That-
like the last one you sent. Or should I forward it to you? See, the one you sent me, the last one you sent. See, let me share it.
I know what the problem is. Let me do.
Have you seen the one you sent me?
Let me convert this one to PDF.
This is the one you sent me. Have you seen it?
You're sending it to me. Is it on the Zoom?
No, I'm sharing it. Are you not seeing my screen?
I see your screen.
Uh-huh. It's your PowerPoint I'm
Yes,
sharing.
this is the one I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wonder why. But maybe because you are showing from your system, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm using my
It's
laptop.
from your laptop, is that not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm suspecting maybe because I am operating from my phone. That's why I'm having this challenge
It's
of.
not good to use phone to teach. There are so many things that it will be difficult for you to maneuver.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something I wanted to do. Let me see if I can.
So please, anything you want to do, quickly. Someone else has joined. Dr. Ayinde, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Doc. I really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Yes.
Those that just joined the meeting, you're welcome. We are waiting for others to come in, also waiting for 7 o'clock. So that will kick off. Dr. Iyilade, Dr. Afolabi, you're welcome. Good evening, everyone. Please, as we come, may we just use the chat box to introduce ourselves while we wait for others to join. Thank you.
All right, ma. Good evening, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening once more, everyone. We will not continue to wait. I think we'll just wait for 4 more minutes and we kick off. Others will join us wherever they meet us. So in the next 4 minutes, we'll kick off. The facilitator, Mr. Promise, is already here with us. So please exercise a little more patience before we start. Thank you. For those of us who have not yet introduced themselves, please do well to go to the chat box and introduce yourself. I think a few of us, Professor Deshope, you're welcome, sir. Hey, Dr. Ugoke, I'm shooting gun for you. You are welcome. Dr. Ugoke, boy, I'm shooting gun. Oh, you're welcome.
I had my own gun. Oh.
Hey.
Welcome. Put the welcome. Oh. Was chicken.
Please, let's introduce ourselves in the chat box. Dr. Ololade, you're welcome. I think that's Salahu. You're welcome. Please do well to introduce yourself in the chat box. So without wasting time again, I think we have to kick off. This is the first session. Good evening once more, everyone. Please just respond. Let me be sure you're hearing me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I hear you.
Oh, better.
Good evening. We can hear you.
Good evening. Better. Can someone else say something? Let me be sure. Someone else respond. Good evening. Dr. Ayinda, are you hearing me? Dr. Ugwoke, we've not heard your voice, so. Does it mean they're not hearing me?
We are hearing you. We are with you, madam.
Oh,
Are you
thank you.
hearing me?
Thank
Are
you.
you hearing me loud and clear?
Oh,
Yes.
very
Yes,
well.
very much, very much. We are hearing you.
All right. Thank you so much. Better.
Yeah, yes.
All right. So we are all welcome to the first session of our audio-visual training. Our facilitator has been here since 6:30, trying to set up the scene. I'm glad he kept to the time. So we've been trying to hold on for others to join, but I think we've tried. We have to start. They will meet us wherever they see us. So without wasting time, I've posted Mr. Promise profile. I will still leave it on the WhatsApp chat group. So we can read up more about him. He's already there in the WhatsApp group. If you have any question, you can contact him later. Like I earlier said, he is a very seasoned media consultant. It's good we listen attentively and learn one or two things. In our conventional society today, we are not talking of the certificates we have, but the skill you have, you'll be able to use. Even as an agricultural extensionist, this training we are doing now is very, very important to us. Agricultural extension is moving towards the traditional way we know, going into digitalization, and we have to flow with the trend. So it's good we upgrade our knowledge so that we'll be able to deliver effectively. So I thank you once more for being part of this training this evening. And I implore you to listen attentively, because at the end of the training, as I've always maintained, we are going to do a lot of work to put all that we've learned into practice. Thank you so much. Why I call Mr. Promise Owama to take over.
All right, a very good evening to all of us. I am glad to be given the opportunity to share this experience and knowledge amongst us. I want to employ us, like Dr. Ifeanyi said, we'll have to try as much as we can to listen attentively. Video making and filmmaking is a discipline that requires a lot of attention, concentration, because it deals with your mind and your entire body. Your psychology must be there. So every concentration is a discipline that requires a lot of concentration. So your concentration begins from the word go. Dr. Ifeanyi, I am still having challenge to convert this document to a PDF. I don't know if you do me a favor sharing the documents you have while I do the presentations. Are you with me, Dr. Ifeanyi?
Yes, I'm hearing you. So let me go ahead and share, no problem.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think you need to stop sharing. You're sharing your screen, so you need to stop sharing.
I need to really stop. Thank you so much.
So stop sharing so I can share it from this end.
Yeah, just give me some seconds. System is hanging. All right, while we'll go about that, video making is a profession that requires your human intellect working alongside with different tools. Some of us, we know that 80% of our daily activities today are being recorded in so many ways. Activities that are happening around us, even most times we move around, we don't know that a lot of activities are being recorded. It is with the power of the video tool. The audiovisual medium is the next thing that the digital world is really, really looking up to. So everybody is supposed to have at least a handheld knowledge on how to use the video and how to operate most of these machines. The essence of this is to give us a tip on the terms and the knowledges you need to get, the various ideas you need to get when making a good video. That's the essence of this whole experience that we're going to have in the next 2 days. We're expecting that in as much as you are an agricultural advisor, you can go out there and do good video, whether in documentary or docudrama, or even a future video film that tells about what your advocacy is all about. So within these 2 days, we're going to undergo a thorough knowledge on the terms and how to use the camera, how to set up interviews, how to know the right shots you're taking, how to determine if really the weather you have is the right weather for a shoot. Yeah, I'll be using some of these terms, shoot, so that you don't see them as shoot here means filming. So you need to understand and know why you should also do those shoots, when to shoot and how to also shoot. So it's expected that after this, we can go into the field and use our equipment and tell stories, narratives. All right, I'll go into the first stage in video making. The very first stage in video making, is, first of all, before you go into video making, you must come up with an idea or concept. This idea is what would drive all what you want to do. This idea is the knowledge around what you want to do. It will tell the type of shots you want to do. It will tell the type of angles you have to take to tell the stories. It will tell even the way you're going to write. It's going to even also tell the way your narrator is supposed to do a narration for you. I want to believe almost all of us here, we are geared towards having documentaries that will tell about our advocacy, documentaries or TV commercials that will help us to advocate for one or two things in agriculture. So before you do that, you have to come up with a concept. The concept is a very vital. That's the idea around what you want to do. Don't just carry camera and say, okay, I'm in the field, I want to, let me start to cover these people. No, you don't just cover, because the way you cover a scene where you have a disaster is not the same way you have cover a scene where you just want to tell subtle narrative, subtle stories, where you are seeking empathy. It's not the same way you're going to tell stories where you just want to inform people that this place is a nice place to stay. No, there are different ways. So the idea has to come up first. And before you come up with the idea or the concept, there are these basic questions. All of us, we know, even in research, we know that there are questions you need to, first of all, ask yourself, the researcher. You ask yourself these questions, you must answer them extensively. What do I want to do? That's the very first thing you want to do. What do I want to do? Yes, it looks simple to say, I want to shoot a video. But is it just a video? It's not just a video. That video you want to shoot have to tell the audience out there something about what you have in mind. So you need to confirm the video I want to shoot. Okay, I want to shoot a video. Yes, but this video I want to shoot, why do I want to do this video? Why? What is the reason behind this video? Do I just want to do a video because I have a camera, or I've seen people out there? I think they are dressing, their costume, the way they are talking is interesting. No. Or do I want to do a video because I find out that today in our climate, in our environment today, the crops we are having challenges because of climate change. So for that reason, I want to do a video. Now, even if that is the reason why you want to do a video, you also need to find out within you the climate challenges that are really the reasons why these crops are not really surviving, or are not really yielding fruits, or why the people are not really paying more attention to these crops. You need to find out why you want to do that video. Then when you know why you want to do this video, then you ask yourself, what is the genre? Some people say genre, but what's the genre of this video? Now, documentary is a genre of video making. Now, in documentary, you also have other subgenres in video making, in video documentaries. There is what we call docudrama. There is what we call tragic documentaries. There are what we call documentaries that are showing life and are showing about struggle. You need to understand the area, the genre, the part of documentary you want to do. Advocacy documentaries are different from documentaries that are passing just they're passing just information that are basically for public relations. Advocacy documentaries are different from documentaries that are passing information on corporate social responsibility. Now, if I am doing an advocacy documentary, it's a radical documentary. So I need to also understand, how do I approach this radical documentary? What are the words I want to use? What are the languages I must speak? How do I invoke people to react? How do I take shots? What type of shots do I need to take to ensure that these persons will feel what I want to say, will come to the aid of these people I am advocating for, this environment I'm advocating for, this crop I'm advocating for, or for this animal I'm advocating for? You know, so the genre matters. The genre you're going to deal on matters a lot. So you don't just pick camera and you start filming. If you film, you get all those shots. When you go back, you find out that what you have in mind is not really telling what you want to tell the people. So you need to also understand the genre you want to work on. Then you ask yourself, when am I going to do this? At what period? What time of the year? What time of the day? What time of the month? What is the actual period when people are supposed to be around for me to film? Now, in filmmaking and in video documentary making and in video making, there are some, like this part of our climate. I am speaking from Nigeria in case I have some persons that are not in Nigeria. This is the western part of Nigeria, so please, you have to understand the angle I'm coming from. From this part of the world where we are, you'll find out that in filmmaking, the raining period is not the best time to film. Now, you ask yourself a big question: what if the message I want to tell is best seen within this period of rain? How do I go about it? So as we go on, we'll tell you the one or two things you need to do. If what you must do must be during the rainy period, you need to understand how to go around that period. Know the time of the rain. You follow the weather focus to know. So you need to know, when do I do this thing? Is it during the daytime? Okay. Another big challenge you have in video making is it's not too good to film. It's not good, not really too good. It's not good to film under the high sun. When the sun is very heavy, it's not good to film during that period, because what you're going to have is what we call overexposed shots. You're going to have overexposed shots that your pictures will be too bright. They will not look true to life. I know most of us experience it. Under the sun, you have heavy sun that the rays are affecting the rays are affecting your camera lenses. So you see people and your background are very white. So you need to understand the actual time to film. In fact, we tell people most times that it is always good to film your documentaries in an arranged setting, or arranged atmosphere, arranged environment. You set up all that. So as we move to, you'll see what you need to set up your environment. So it's not always advisable to film under heavy sun. It's not always advisable to film under the rainy period, because your equipment also will suffer. So you need to know when to do this filming. What is the right time that I will even meet my clients? What my participants, my clients, those that I'm going to interview, what is the actual time? When would they be available for me? You need to also have all this behind when preparing. Then you ask yourself again, where am I going to do this thing? Where am I going to do this filming? Which area is vital? You know all this. You have a project and you're going all the way to Bauchi, and they say at Bauchi that's the place you will see the right thing. So you need to know how to get to Bauchi, what you need to do to be safe in Bauchi, the day you're going to get to Bauchi, and the day you're going to film, the people you're going to meet in Bauchi. So you need to know where are these persons, where are the resources you need, where is the angle you're going. You need to know the place and you start planning. Then after that, you need to also understand to find out how you are going to do this filming. How am I going to do it? Am I going to take shots, angles that are going to be more of low angles? Am I going to take subjective angles, high angle shots that are going to come all the way from as if God is looking on me? Am I going to take direct shots? So you need to understand how. How am I going to even tell my story? Am I starting my story from a humanistic angle? Am I starting my story from the third person narrative? Am I starting my story from the second person narrative? So it's not always advisable in video to do third person narrative. So you're doing first person or second person narrative in video documentary. So you need to understand, am I doing more of, there will be reenactment of actions. Reenactment of actions is in a situation whereby you have a story, an idea, a concept, something you want to tell, and there is history, and you can lay hands on the visuals, whether still photos, or you can lay hands on visual images. So you need to reenact. Maybe they are telling you about a chief that has lived 150 years in the community, and he fought a war to ensure that his lands are safe. And while he was fighting, they had to poison the land. That's why crops are not growing. Now you need to get somebody to reenact this chief, reenact when he went to war, reenact how people poisoned the land and what the people are. So that you need to understand how you want to tell this story. Now, when you have these answers, that is the 5 W's and the H. When you have these answers to at the tip of your hand, then now you can say, actually, I have a concept. I have a way I want to go about this idea. Then now you move to the next stage, the second stage. You move to the second stage. Now, the second stage is the stage where we describe the various processes in video making. It is conventional. You can't run away from this process. It's conventional, whether in America, whether in Britain, in London, UK. This is a conventional stages for video production. There are basically 3 stages, but with experience and with technology and the world is evolving, the stages have evolved from 3 to 4. But basically, it is three basic stages. If you know the three, the fourth one is submerged in the third stage. Now, what are these three basic stages? We start with the very first thing is the pre-production or pre-filming stage. At this stage, this is when you go, you stay indoor after developing your concept. You stay indoor to do your research through any medium, oral research, web research, surveys, questions. You come up with a lot of questions that you need to know about the project you're going into. During this period, you also, those researches you do now develop, that's where you develop your script from. You start writing the script from that researches. That's the pre-production stage. You write your script, you come up with your first draft of the script. When you come up with your first draft of the script, you discuss your first draft. You must discuss your first draft with your colleagues. Don't be afraid to call your colleagues together, 4 or 5 of them. Probably if you're working and somebody has contracted you to do a documentary video on for instance, a documentary video on turmeric, for instance. Maybe the topic is turmeric and challenges of growth in Western Nigeria, and you've been contracted by agricultural development project to do that. When you come up with your first draft, you call your colleagues, they look at it. They must criticize your script. Then you take that same first draft to your client, those that have contracted you, the stakeholders, even those that are also, if you know 1 or 2 persons that are into turmeric and maybe scholars in that area, you give them and say, look at this, this is what I want to do. The reason is for you not to give a wrong information out there, because video, what you see stays more in your memory than even what you hear, So video has a strong impact. So you now send it out to the stakeholders. They also make their impact. Now, whatever impact, corrections, and criticism they've given you, you go back again to your drawing board and rewrite your script to come up with your second draft. Now, when you come up with your second draft, if you're working and someone has contacted you to this work, you take it to the president and say, look, from the first draft, you did correction, and this is what I have come up with. They look at it, immediately they look at it, and they come up with their own final corrections. Then you move on. That's where you go and get your final draft. The final draft is your working document. Now, during this pre-production period too, it is from that script now you will know what your budget is. The script will tell you how many cameras you're working with. The script will tell you if you're reenacting any scene. You need to also get actors that will reenact that scene for you. The script will tell you you need a narrator whose voice is going to be at the background of your documentary. The script will tell you that you need to buy footages, stock photos. The script will tell you, the script will tell you quite a lot of things. The script will tell you you're traveling to Sambisa, you're traveling to a northern part of Nigeria, you're traveling to the outside country. The script will tell you all that. The script will tell you how many days you're going to spend in any place. The script will tell you what type of flight you're going to use. The script will tell you all that. Then you cost those things and you come up with your budget, your working budget. You must have a working budget. Don't just go out there and say, I want to start filming without a budget. You just spend without knowing what you're spending. Then after your budget, then you put together who are those persons that you want to work with. What we call the crew members. For a docudrama or for a documentary that we need reenactment, you need cast. Now the crew members will come to also know. Well, most times, low budget documentaries, the major crew you will need is your cameraman, your producer director, which almost all of us here today are going to be producer directors very soon, and the cameraman. So you just have most times because you are doing almost the work, the cameraman, your producer, director, and the only person, if it's a docudrama, you might need an actor that will reenact, you know. The narrator also is part of your crew. You need to understand if you're doing a documentary, you need to understand, is it a masculine topic I'm handling? If I'm handling a masculine topic, then I'll need to use a masculine narrator to do my narration. If I'm doing a feminine topic, I will need to use a feminine narrator to do my narration. So all these persons, you put this crew together, you contract them, you sign contracts. Ensure you sign contracts. In fact, sign contract and have indemnity. Even when you go out there to do interviews, when you go out there to cover people and always have indemnity. They must sign that, look, we've given you this footage. We've given you the permission to use our image in your work. Because you might have a challenge sometime tomorrow in the nearest future. You go out there in the streets or out there in the field, in the location, you just cover somebody and you don't know the person you cover, maybe a 16-year-old girl or 13-year-old girl, and you do a very good project. The project uplifts you. 30 years down the line, the person you're covering becomes a legal practitioner out there tomorrow, and the person sees his or her image on the YouTube or online and say, this person used me even when I wasn't wearing clothes. No. Before you know, the person is taking you up. So whenever you have the opportunity to do things like this, you must sign a contract and have indemnity to use footages. Now, all these things are what you prepare within the stage of your pre-production or pre-filming. It's pre-production, English, pre-filming in the US. Now, after that period, that signing contract, you also go into what we call Reiki. Next slide, please. The next slide, please. You go into what we call Reiki. Reiki is when you visit the various locations. Where am I going to do this documentary? I am going to Abeokuta. Okay, if I get to Ebaland, I'll need to get to the Oba's Palace. If I get to the Oba's Palace, I'll need to get to the shrine of the priestess. If I get to the shrine of the priestess, I also need to get to the Olumo Rock. After getting to Olumo Rock, then I'll need to go into the interland to see one or two farmers doing it. Now, you need to visit this place before you go to film. You need to visit this place. If there are some of them you get there, they'll say, before you film us, you're giving us some amount. You need to negotiate. Most times I'll advise you have someone on ground to take you around all this place. You negotiate, pay whatever you need to pay for all that, lock it down. Then after that, you start preparing for your production and filming. Like I said, in the case of documentary, during this period, you write all the questions you want to ask during your interview, during your pre-production, write them down. You prepare your short list. A short list is a list containing the various shots you want to take. The various shots you want to take in each of the scenes. In each of the scenes, there are shots you need to take. There are some of them you don't need to take long shot. You don't need to take. Some of them you need detailed shot or close up or tight close up. You need to write them down. It's called short list. Have them. Then you have your shooting schedule. Your shooting schedule during the pre-production. Your shooting schedule is the days you want to shoot, what you want to shoot. I am shooting on Monday. By Monday, that Monday, I will be at the Palace of the Oba by 9 o'clock a.m. I will shoot 3 hours there. Shooting schedule, you must have them at your pre-production. Then you inform your cast and crew, your crew members, your cameraman, your location driver, inform them, look, we are starting shoot on Monday. Prepare yourself. We are meeting at a T-junction. That's our meeting point, and our call time is 7 o'clock. You inform them shooting time and shooting date. When you're done with this, your pre-production is ready. Then now you go into production proper, production or filming, production or filming. Now, filming is the period you go to the field. That is when you take your equipment, you and your crew members, and you go to the field to do the right thing. It's one of the toughest periods. It's another period when you face a lot of risk. This is when you now start to capture images. You get images, footages of what your concept is all about. All your interviews, you shoot them during this period. During the filming period, if you go out in a day, you come back maybe to your hotel room, whatever you have captured in your camera, you upload them or you copy them into a safe hard drive. You do that during the filming period, because if you don't do that, you'll find out that maybe you go out, you didn't copy what you have, and you didn't format your card, you didn't save them. Before you know, your memory card is filled. You're struggling. What do I do? What do I do? You might even delete one of the most important things you need to. When you get back to your hotel during the filming period, you go back to your hotel on each day, you copy whatever you have into a safe hard drive. I would always advise people you get more than one or two hard drives. You get more than two hard drives. You keep one, you take one to the field. In case you also are in the field and your card is filled, you now transfer with your laptop. So you shoot your interviews during this filming period. If there are things also you want to, probably you didn't capture in your script, there are some things that you didn't capture in your script during the filming period, and you see on the field, you see that this is interesting. This will add flavor to your video. You also capture that during the filming period. There's what we call addendum. Those are the addendums, additional things that you need that can enhance your script. You do that during the filming period. This is also when you decide if there are other interviews that you didn't capture, that you see that, look, I need this, you capture them. You capture them. In fact, there is no amount of footage you will get that is enough in anything. But you need more footages in any video making. More, it is always advisable to have more than not to even have, and you're scrambling to borrow or to buy footage. So during the filming period, that's when you record both visual, you record audio. You do even your voice. Your voice is during filming period too. You do your voice, because there are some places you get to who you are meeting cannot speak maybe a conventional English, and you need an interpreter on ground. You don't wait. Let me finish with this man from Ebalando, since he cannot speak. Let him speak Yoruba. When I get to my place of post-production of my destination, I'll get a Yoruba person to translate. Most times it doesn't work like that. The Eba man might be speaking the Eba Yoruba, and you're getting a Lagos man to come and interpret. He's giving you something different. Somebody is giving you is giving you a local language in Niger State, and you think it's Hausa, and you come to Port Harcourt and you get an Hausa person, and the person is different. So it's only advisable when you are on field there, as the person is saying that in his local language, you get someone that can understand it by that person that you're interviewing, and you're collecting direct from the source. Please don't make mistake to wait till when you get to your destination or your location, or when you get to your place. That's when you're looking for someone to come and interpret for you. It's always risky. During the filming period, there's what we call ADR. ADR is automated dialogue replacement. You do that. I just explained it for actors. You come to studio to do it, but for narrative and documentary, as that person is, as you're interviewing someone from, sorry if there's an Eba man here, I'll be using Eba. Please don't be offended. If you're interviewing someone from Eba land and the person is speaking Eba, then get someone to also interpret it there, and make sure as the person is interpreting, you are making your editor who is not there, you are making a sign that will make your editor to understand that this is an audio voice that will be replacing this voice. You can say it by pronunciation, ADRO. You say ADRO on interview for Chief Adebayo, you know? So like your editor, even if you're not, maybe you come back from field and you're tired and your editor wants to start cutting your shot, the editor, when he's logging, will understand that this is an ADR for this interview. All right. Then after that, during the filming period too, you move to also decide things like what type of sound you want to use, what the music background you want to use, the effects. So you also decide the colors. There's what we call color grading too. You know? Okay. We are now going into editing, which is the next stage after the filming period. Editing is technical. It's very, very technical. In fact, I tell people for editing, you will need a system. I think after this, I will discuss with the facilitator. Probably we'll look at editing. We'll look at editing again. But just little I want you to understand from editing. It is a period, this period of production process that you decide which are the footages I want to use, which are the good ones that I want to use, which are the bad ones that I don't need. Then during editing, you have to also understand that you have to arrange your footages in sequential order. You know, after previewing, you come back after you have previewed your footages, you know, great project. You now understand how you want to arrange this project according to your concept. Don't forget, the whole thing still boils down to concept. The very first idea you have that you want to follow it during editing is when you arrange your footages the way you want them after creating your edit, your project. You add music, caption, EFS is special effect. Are there effects that you need to do? Are there audios that are having challenges? Maybe while you were there, you didn't have option. You didn't have option to get the footage. Then the environment you find yourself, and you see that there are big trucks that are passing, or train, a railway is there, and constantly there is noise, and you need that. You know, you collect the footage and the audio. When you get to your post-production, your edit, you do what we call audio final mix. You know, that's when they correct your audio. They now sieve out some unwanted noise. The ones that they will sieve them off and balance your audio. There are sometimes that you do audio, you shoot, you film, you come back, you find out some audios are higher than some. Then now it is during the edit period that they correct them to be on the same level. The colors too. You might have challenges that, look, this day is a sunny day, you don't have option. You know, you cannot go back to your destination and come back to film. You say, okay, let me just gather this. It is during that final edit, during the edit period, that you have color correction, that they correct the colors to suit the actual color you want for your project to fly on. After that, you come up with your first exported project. Your first exported project, what we call your first preview copy. You come up with that. When you come up with that preview copy, you call a test audience. test audience, some persons that you know, and you play it for them, let them watch, see their reaction. Whatever they tell you that, look, oh, it's not good to use too much. Don't show us where they are using too much blood. Maybe you went to an abattoir and they are slaughtering a cow and the blood is there, and you know that this might not be too good. They say, don't do this. Blow it. You know that cow in some part of the world they respect cows so much, so don't do. So this test audience will tell you all this. You go back and do your correction. Then you take your first preview copy to your client. I talk to all of us, or even to yourself. You're a client to yourself. In video making, you're a client to yourself. If you don't get what you want right, you come back, you'll not feel happy. So you take your content, your first preview copy, for instance, to your client or to the people you think that are the persons to consume this, and they will look at it. They will definitely give you one or two things that they don't want. Probably you didn't spell names well, or they don't like the narrator's voice. They'll tell you, most of them will tell you, no, we don't like this narrator's voice, so why not go and use Regina Abu, or why not use the man that does Google Africa, for instance. You go back and get that person to come and voice, and insert it, then you return back, you know. Now, I told you these stages are three. The three stages end at this initial edit, the first edit. Now, when you go to your client and you get your test audience, they do the corrections, and you need to go back to the studio. That is what we call the post-production. The post-production, that's the final edit. With all these corrections, you go back, do the corrections, come out with your final edit. Then you do your jackets, do your posters. Are there leaflets that are supposed to go with your video? Are there pamphlets, handbills? These are the periods you do them. You get them, then you export finally in the format that they will need. The final format, which is your channel that is going out. Is it on television? Is it for cinema? Is it going to be something that will be showing on the web? There are different formats. You export to that format, then you export to a high-grade format, and you archive your project. That after exporting, you now put in a hard drive, and you archive and keep them in your library. Then you send out the materials, the ones that you're sending out. That is the production processes that you must follow whenever you are going out to do a video. Follow these production processes, you are going to get the best out whenever you do. They are just simple processes. Just have them and you follow them, you get the best of the video you want to do. So we'll move to the next stage. We'll move to the next stage. The next stage is what I call the scripting stage. I want to treat scripting. Script is the Bible you need. Don't just go to the field and say, okay, I know what I want to do. You just start filming. No. You end up coming back without having a beginning, you don't have a middle, you don't have an end. You just have footages, you don't even know how to use them. The script guides you, is your working Bible. It tells you this is what you agreed with yourself or with your clients, and this is what your stakeholders say they want. This is how to go about it. It tells you start from here, and this is where you should do this, and this is where you should. Scripting is very, very vital. You must know it. Every script must, as a matter of, it must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You must know how to write this story to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I always tell people that the best way is start with an action that is intriguing, that is action that can capture your audience. Most times we want to even advise to start with actions that are more dragging empathy. I can tell you, make somebody weep. Start with such action. You want to tell a story about coconut. You want to tell a story about coconut. You can start from the dangerous part of coconut. What is the danger of coconut? You ask yourself, what is so deadly about coconut? And you start, maybe you see someone, a coconut on the tree, and the coconut falls, and the person, maybe the idea is that the coconut was supposed to fall on the person's head, but unfortunately the person moved away and the coconut fell on the floor, and the person shouts. You know, things like that can evoke, someone will shout, hey, God, thank you, this thing didn't kill this person. Then you start telling the story about the coconut. You know, you must start with a bang and something that can hold people, and as you're moving, it will keep climbing. The middle is that angle where the person will feel, anybody that is listening or that is watching your video will feel real empathy. Then towards the end, let there be a subtle resolution where the person will say, oh, thank God. Or, this person, you deserve this. Or, so this is the reason why this person is passing through this. Okay. You know, so you must, when writing a script, these are the various things you should have in your right there in your mind. In your psychology, you must have this. So the number one is, who am I targeting for this work? Who are my target audience? Is it for children? Is it for adults? What are their age bracket? Is it for the low class? Is it for the middle class? Is it for the upper class? You need to understand, because this will also guide you in the type of language you want to use. It will guide you in the type of images you should gather. You know, you must have that when writing a script. Who are my target audience? Then the language, what language do they speak? What language will communicate well? You know, if I'm doing a documentary and I have to do with a documentary that I have to do with something, I have to do with the Niger Delta, for instance, I'll prefer to do a lot of pidgin. Yes, I'll prefer to do a lot of pidgin. You know, in my documentary, I will decide I might go to the Job side and learn their pidgin, or I'll go to the Warri side and learn their pidgin, or I'll go to Benin side and learn their pidgin. I'll prefer to do that. So you need to understand the language. If I'm doing a documentary and I know that my clients and my audience are right there in Federal Capital Territory, I will combine good English and subtle of the who are this the language that these people speak. Then you need to understand, what is the message I want to pass with this video. What is the central theme? What am I targeting in this video? You know, in this script I'm writing, what are the subject matters that I'm looking at? Because that will determine the terms you're going to use too. It will determine the way you're going to write about even the various figures in your research, the various figures that you need to get. You know, are there histories around that? You need to understand all that. Your theme and your subject matters. Like I said, the concept and the idea also influences the script. The subject and the idea influences the script. Then the genre also influences the script. The way I write a tragic documentary, tragic story is narrative. It's not the way I'm going to write a subtle narrative. It's not the way I'm going to write a narrative that is going to evoke people to react on things. It's not the same way. So you need to understand that. You also need to get to understand the simple principle of KISS. What I call KISS. Next slide, please. All right. You need to understand don't use too much language, too much dialogue. In video, we don't do too much dialogue. We always say keep it short and simple. Not too much dialogue. Videos deal with more of visual than dialogue. Make sure you have correct facts. They are important. Always update the script after Reiki. When you've gone to location to see all what the places you're going, update the script. Update it. Add the things you have seen. Because you write your script before going for Reiki. When you finish Reiki, there are things you see, put them there. Avoid complicated and difficult words. No, use the everyday language, what the people will be used to. Don't speak big grammar. I am duplicated and fabricated that I'm speaking. No. It doesn't work in documentary. Avoid acronyms. No, you are writing a script and it's for NIFAAS. No, first of all, tell us NIFAAS is Nigeria Forum for Agricultural Advocacy, Supervisors. Write it, first say it before you say NIFAAS. So that when the people come to hear NIFAAS later, they will understand. Don't just say NIFAAS. Nobody understands what NIFAAS. NIFAAS can mean so many things to so many people. Avoid acronyms. Keep the subject interesting always. Yeah, like if you know the beginning, middle, and end, keep it interesting. Write for the spoken words. Yes. Don't write as if you are writing a newsletter or a news bulletin. No, write as if you're writing for somebody that is going to speak, a presenter that is going to present something. Don't write big English. It doesn't work. Always follow sequential order, beginning, middle, and end, or end, middle, beginning. Either the flashback technique or you're starting from beginning. You can also start, unless you want to, you can break convention. Yes, there are narratives that you can break convention. You start from nowhere, and before you know, you are rolling. But it's not always advisable. It takes a radical person that have done video documentary or video films for a very long time to take such approach that people will understand you for that. But for the type of advocacy we do as an agricultural advisor, I will advise you, just don't break convention, just follow convention and do the right thing. Always follow the beginning, the middle, and the end. Even in our research writing, we always want people to always follow that. So video is always good to follow that. But documentaries always conclude your audio column, okay? When you're writing a script, documentary script is divided into three major columns. You have your video column, you have your audio column, you have your remark column. Now, your video column is the column where you write down the shots that you need to take. Your audio column is the column where you write the narrative, what your narrator, the voice that your narrator is going to say. That's the audio column, because that voice audio column is, in fact, basically the script. It's basically your story, you know. The video column is the visual that will interpret what that voice is saying. That's where you write in your video column. So we always advise that you must finish your audio column in your script before you start fixing the video column, because when the audio column is complete, that's when you start seeing the visuals, you start seeing the shots, you start seeing the actions that are happening. You know, if I'm doing a documentary on cocoa, for instance, and I'm going to Shagamu, I will first of all write my audio column to say, this is Shagamu, a town set in a village close to Ibadan. Shagamu is a town that has been established 1804 by a man known as Shaga, and he lived in this place for centuries. He died as a result of a war between him and the Islam. You can see that I have been able to get images. This is Shagamu. When I go to the video column of the script, I will write short of Shagamu town. Then I'll say Shagamu was established by a man known as Shaga. I'll now say short of a man known as Shaga in my video column. So if you don't conclude your audio column, you cannot see what you want to write in your video. So we always advise you conclude your audio column before you do your video column. And after that, Don't also put words between brackets. No, in scripting, you don't put words between brackets. Let them be open. Avoid writing in the third person, especially for documentary. Yeah, don't just avoid it. First person and second person is always good. I always say start with a bang and end with a bang. You know, if I say this is Shagamu, Shagamu was established by a man known as Shaga. If I go to Shagamu, I will take action of somebody that is eating probably a wedu and amala somewhere, and I'll see the person just with the bulb, the person throws it in his mouth and he wraps the thing. I'll say, I'll just start at this Shagamu. Then you see me show the extra shot of Shagamu. You know, that interesting thing about the man cutting the wedu, dipping the amala, dipping into a wedu and taking it into his buccal cavity, his mouth, and his swallow. That alone can whet so many persons' appetite. And he said, "This is Shagamu." Oh, your audience will say, "Oh, in Shagamu there is amala, there is a wedu." You know, you must start with a bang. And if I am ending, I will end with something that will catch the people to always love that environment of Shagamu. So start with a bang, end with a bang. That makes interesting script. Let's go to the next slide. The next stage we are looking at is crew and video making. The crew are the people you're going to work with, those before the camera and those behind the camera. Now, I try to break down the crew. We have elaborate crew in video making, elaborate. But for the sake of for the sake of what we do, I will just give us insight of little of the of some of the crew members. Then I'll tell us, for those of us that are going to documentaries, basically I'll tell us what the basic ones that we need. But you need to have an idea of each of these group crew members and what they do, because there are some documentaries that you will do, and at the end of the day, what you did, you never knew that somebody might come up one day from maybe CNN, or someone is coming up from not Joe White, and they're buying over
Please, let's exercise patience. It's like he's having network problem.
No problem.
Welcome to those of us that joined late. I hope we are following the lesson.
Please, maybe while we wait for him, you can give us maybe
Hello? Hello?
Hello, is that Mr. Promise?
Yeah, sorry, I think my network went off, but I'm back.
Oh, wonderful. You're welcome back. We suspected that.
Yeah. Sorry. Please, sorry. It's our problem here. All right, we're on the fourth stage. Can I continue?
Please go ahead. Dr. Onagwa, please, after the class, we can hear your comment.
Okay, I think you can continue.
All right. Can I continue?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
All right, so you can do a documentary. Sorry, I was saying is you can do a documentary and you don't know what you did in 2020, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. It captures the interest of a producer, a TV content buyer, like for instance, Nigel White, and they want to buy it. Now, when they want to buy it, they want to have the persons that are, they want to know the persons that are behind this project. Credits to this people, most times it affects that short sales. So that's why you need to know the various persons and the various crew members and what role they play. So we start with the very first one, the executive producer. Now, if anybody funds your project, you are the one funding your project. You are the executive producer of that work. So whenever you're writing end credit, always put your name as executive producer. You are the person that you are going to discuss the business of content buying for your video. You are the person that are going to discuss it with. So don't make any mistake anytime at the end credit, you don't give yourself that. Or you don't give the person that invested the money because the person takes the risk. You don't give the person the opportunity to have that credit. So the executive producer is usually that person that takes the risk, is the business person, and he liaises with the producer. Now, after the executive producer, you have the producer. The producer is that person that have the knowledge or the creative idea. When executive producer, most times executive producers, you don't see them. They give you money and say, produce this for me. For instance, you are being contracted by ADP to do a documentary. ADP is your EP. They are the executive producers. You that is doing the work, you are the producer. When they give you money, most times they don't even know what they want. They will say, just go and do a documentary on cassava. You are the one that will go, the producer will be the one that will go to think, how am I going to tell cassava story? How am I going to say? So when you come up with that concept, the idea, that's the producer, is the person that have the idea, the concept, is the person that will decide, this is the director I want to work with. This is the camera person I want to work with. This is the script writer that will do this script. It is the job of the producer. It's the person that maybe interprets the idea or manages the money for the EP. Let me take it there. Is in charge of the entire management of the project. Now, the script writer is the person that writes the script. Most times, you might not be opportune to have the knowledge to write a script. You might be tempted to employ someone. You get someone that will write the script. That's the script writer. It tells us it must be a person that has knowledge of how to use words. How to use words. They don't just give anybody and write words too, talking words. The director is the next crew member. Now, the director is the person that have the knowledge, the artistic knowledge. He knows cameras, he knows shots, he knows setting. In fact, he knows everything artistically. The director is that person that can handle any aspect of production. He can produce, yes, the director. So most of you will end up being directors, producers, executive producers. But you must have the knowledge of shots. You must have the discipline, interpretation of concept. Most times as a director, your EP or your producer will come up with a concept and he gives it to you. You should have the knowledge to interpret it, interpret that concept and be able to produce them through visuals. You know, so that's the director. It must be a sound person, both mind and body. Health-wise, don't take a sick person for the director. You know, so we'll go to the next slide. The production manager, what we call the PM. Every production has someone that will manage that production. He's the person that ensures that every activity, your shooting schedule is maintained. Every activity of the production, the day is maintained. He makes sure that everything is attained. You know, he must be someone that has a managerial spirit. He works with the producer most times. He takes information, he takes orders from the producer. And whatever is the challenges of the production, he discusses with the producer. He plans the shooting schedule, the day-to-day shooting schedule, and he liaises with the director and the producer. Each day, when it comes out with the shooting schedule, he sends it to the director and says, this is what we are going to shoot the next day, or this is what we are going to shoot in 2 days' time, and the producer will approve. After the production manager, you have the script supervisor. Now, every script you do, there is someone that must ensure that what you're filming is in accordance to what the script says. You must supervise every detail. Look, we need to take a close-up shot of the raffia palm. We've not done that. Director, we've not done that. Director, that thing is vital. That thing is very, very vital. It is that raffia palm that we'll use to tell people that the entire palm product, the raffia palm can be used for tissue paper, can be used for. It's very, very vital. He will be shouting it. He supervises the script details. He makes sure that details are always kept. You know, the script supervisor in most times, some parts of the world is called the continuity person, especially in Britain. It's called the continuity person. You must make sure that there are links. We are taking shots that are linking. You don't start with a shot where you have the person you're interviewing, the person is seated and is relaxed on a seat. And after the first question, the second question, the person will tell you, please excuse me, I want to eat myself. May I use the loo? You say, okay, no problem. The person goes and come back. The person maybe didn't remember to talk very well, or to not be tied very well. He didn't remember that he sat in when he was talking. It is this script supervisor that will tell the person. So sorry, when we were running the first interview, you were sitting up. You are sitting in, not sitting up any longer. You know, that person must be most times most people use him as the artistic director. So you need a script supervisor, then you need a director of photography. Now, in most cases, the director of photography doubles as a cameraman. There are two different departments. The director of photography is the person with the knowledge to understand the detailed shots, the angles that the director will want to take. He is the person that understands the type of shot that the director wants to take, and he knows the lenses that will get those shots. That is the director of photography. Now, the cameraman is the man that handles the camera and positions them, and he collects the lens, attaches it to the camera, stands behind the camera, on the camera, off the camera. That is different. But most times, because of the peculiarity of our own part of the world, we might not have elaborate money, we might not have big budget to even pay DOP and a cameraman. So we see a DOP doubling as a cameraman. That's why I just have only the DOP here on some of us. So you must have the knowledge of picturization, you must have the knowledge of camera, and work closely with the director. You must be very strong. Don't take a lazy person that will work when 1 hour, the person is tired, they want to go and sit. No, you must be very healthy, camera person. Now, the costumier, in a situation whereby you're doing a docudrama, that's a documentary that has drama enactment. Or even when you want to also interview somebody, and you find out that the person, you will need the person, for instance, if I want to do a documentary in Zulu language, and in Zulu, and I'm traveling all the way to South Africa or Zimbabwe, to do this. I would need to get a costume for if I am the presenter in that documentary. If I am the presenter in that documentary, I'm the one that is doing presentation in the documentary where they are seeing me with my microphone and I am presenting. I will need to dress like a Zulu man for my audience to be able to feel the documentary and to also follow me. I don't need to dress like an Englishman or come and dress like an Igbo man or no, the Yoruba man when I'm doing something in Zulu. I will need to. Now you need someone to provide that costume, that dressing. If I'm interviewing somebody there and the person does not have that, I can dress the person to what I want. So the costumier is that person that gives the artistic, the actors or the artistic personnel what they are going to put on in a video project. You need to understand that because with time, most of the documentaries you're going to do will have all situations where you will need the costumes. Even you that is producing, you might go to location, the costume you have is not what you want to use. You can employ a costumier and the person gets you all what you want. And you must not use your clothes, your day-to-day clothes. Most times it's not advisable. You use a cloth you used to go to church or you used to go to mosque, you use it in a documentary, and tomorrow the documentary is flying on air. People are seeing that same costume that you're wearing, and the next week somebody is seeing you on the street with the same costume. No, it doesn't tell well, So it's always advisable most times when you have big budget projects, you get a costumier and tell the costumier what you want to provide that. Makeup is necessary. If you watch some of us, most times when we do documentaries, we see characters, the people we interview most times, their faces are oily, they don't look nice, the pictures are, the person is not looking any good. TV, video is all about picture. Even when you want to go and snap a photo, when you go to a studio, you want to take photograph, you want a paparazzi to snap you, you want to look for even a face powder because you want to look nice. That's video for you. So the makeup artist is there to give those necessary paintings, those necessary looks that will make your subject look nice, make your artist look nice. The makeup artist must not be someone that will come and paint the necessary things. No, for our documentaries, you need them. Even if you are not employing a makeup artist, always understand that when you want to do a documentary interview for someone, get a face powder. Get a face powder. Tell the person, please, or let the person use his face towel or hanky to clean his face. So that the picture you're getting, you're not getting a sweaty face, unless it's necessary. Maybe you are showing, for instance, you're showing the issue we had last in this part, the NSAS protest that people are running around and they're shooting. You want to show something like that? No, you can manage. You can say even you can make up too. You can make up sweat. You can make up all that. But in the situation whereby you have a nice interview you want to take, short of a nice interview, you must have makeup. You must have makeup. You should also understand that if you're shooting some documentaries that require or some videos that requires you shooting in some areas that have some religious belief, you also need to understand that you don't apply so much makeup. Like most of the Arab countries, you don't apply so much makeup. So your makeup artist is the one that will even remind you, we are in Saudi Arabia, there is no makeup here. If you are interviewing this person, make sure that, let me clean the makeup. You use wipe and the rest of them. So you need a makeup artist to defeat that. Welfare is necessary. That's the next crew member, welfare. You go to location, you go to field, people will eat, people will take tablets like after the day's work, the person needs energetic. The welfare person is that person. The welfare person is the person that provides all what you eat during the production period. You need such a person, even if you are the one. Always remember that you are doing the work of a welfare person. Now, location manager. Like I was citing an example of a documentary. If I'm doing a documentary in a balance, I think if I go for Reiki, I will need someone that will take me around. That person that I will get on ground is the location person. Is the person that will tell me this is where Olumo Rock is located, or this is where our Oba Palace is located. It's okay. This is what you need to do to get the Oba Palace. That person is your location person. You need that person. Location person is the person that gets the location or the places you want to use for your video. Then the next person is your props and sets. Props and set. If I'm doing a documentary in a balance and I have to use the horse whisk, and I need the person that is I'm going to interview, I need that person to hold a horse whisk. You know, the props person is that person that will get me that horse whisk. I don't need to be running around. I'll just say, get me a horse whisk, get me a bead, get me the props person will get all that. I need a hoe, I need a machete that this person is going to use. You know, on a very good day, is the props person. Is this props and set person that will set up the world of the thing, the world of the video. If I'm going to run an interview in an office, I get to that office, there are files, there are books on the shelves, different books on the shelf, there are calendars, you know, the person's table and seat is at the window side, and at the window side there is tendency of getting sun rays from the window side. You know, it is the props and set person that will tell me, no, producer, director, sir, no. This thing would not be nice for us to shoot against the window. The sun will be against our camera. It's not going to give us a good picture. I want to reset this office. The props and set person will take permission from the owner of the office and reset the office to suit what I want to do. And after shooting, after filming, he or she will return the office to the normal position. You know, if I need an old telephone in that office, the props and set person will get it for me. So it's an artistic person. You know, some people call him the art director, the props and set person. Okay, you need a sound man. If you're doing an elaborate documentary, the sound man is that person that collects the sound. He has a device. He has a device that he can collect audio sound from. He collects audio sound. Like as I'm talking, I need a microphone in my camera. It's the sound man that will pipe the microphone with a boom mic, with a boomstick, with a boomstick to my subject. It's the sound man that will use a lapel mic, a radio mic, and go and fix on my subject or the person I'm interviewing, or fix on the person and record in a sound recorder. You know, so that when I get to post-production edit, the sound he has collected is what I will use, not the camera sound. Most times the camera sound is not usually good. We'll get to that place. The camera sound is not usually good because you don't have opportunity to regulate ambience, environmental noise enough in the camera. But with the sound man, with the sound audio mixer or sound mixer or Zoom recorder or Tascam recorder, he can regulate all that external unwanted noise at the field before you get to the studio. So the sound man collects sound for you, audio sound. Lighting man. For you to do a good video, I remember telling us when we started that it is always good for you to even do your videos in planned environment. Planned environment, not natural environment. You set up your planned environment. The light is very, very vital. The lighting man is that person with the knowledge of light design. He handles the light, He knows how to manipulate the light to be able to get the subject to be true to life before the camera. So you need a lighting man. He knows the type of light you will need. He knows the density of the light. He knows the colors that you are required to use to depict what you want to depict. So the lighting man is very vital. Your production assistant is that person that takes up errands for you during production. You know, go and get us pure water. Go and get us man that will carry this person to this place. Go and buy battery. Go and, you know, that's the product. You need an assistant. Then your production driver, that person that takes you all around to wherever you go. These are basically the crew members in a production chain. But note, in documentary videos, the low budget documentaries, you don't need all this. You don't need all this. Just you, that can act as the producer, director, probably a sound man, a DOP, and finally an editor. You can deliver a documentary. Over the years, I have done that. But there are projects you will be handling. They will want you to have all these persons because you might bill them for it. All right, we are going to the next stage. Dr. Fine. Hello, Dr. Fine. The fifth stage, we are going to the fifth stage, which is the basic use.
I'm already sharing it. I hope you're seeing the PowerPoint.
Yes, I am. You are the one that will tell me when I will stop.
I know.
You are the one that will tell me when I will stop today.
We actually want to do today because we want to avoid information overload is for you to give us the theory part of it. Then tomorrow we have demonstration. So I think if you can
finish my slide.
Go a little fast so that.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right, let me go. Let's continue. Let's go. I'm hearing you. All right, let's continue. All right, the next stage is
9 p.m.
9 p.m. All right, maybe we'll go there. Before 9 p.m. we would have gone far. All right, the next stage is how to use your camera. How to use your camera. Always remember that the camera is a machine. Always have that at the back of your mind. It's a machine. The camera cannot operate itself. You are the one that should operate it. Anytime you open up your camera, before you open up your camera, please, when you get a camera, always read the manual very well. Read the manual very well. Before you go to field, any camera you're using, read the manual or ask questions. Then do a checklist. Checklist entails what the camera needs, what the camera bag, tape, or memory card that you will need, battery, tripod, these are necessary. Microphone, they are necessary. Your microphones with batteries, you know, every microphone has battery. Your headphone, that's your earpiece, your headphone, light, and camera bag. Those are necessary things that you need to go to field. You know, your camera, whenever you want to use your camera, always put them in manual. That's for camera. Somebody that is using phone, you cannot put manual. Your phone is not it's on auto, it's automatic. Your phone, but for a basic camera, always put them in manual because the manual, you regulate what you want. But auto, the camera is telling you this is what it wants, and it's not too good. All right, the next stage is how to operate the camera. It's how to operate the camera. By tomorrow, I will get a camera and show you one or two things. But when you pick up a camera, the first thing you do is, first of all, put the battery, load the battery. When you load the battery, you load the memory card. Memory cards are basically for digital single lens cameras, like the Canon cameras, like the Nikon cameras, like the Panasonic cameras, the small Sony cameras. They are digital single lens. The big cameras that you see, that they carry mostly the TV houses, they carry they are not single lens. They are double lens cameras. They are big cameras. But the single lens cameras, these ones I just mentioned, they have been compacted. Even the small camcorder, most of us have a single lens camera. So most of them use memory cards. So once you load your battery, you slot in your memory card, you look for around the camera, there will be a place you will see the on and off button. You see it, then you turn it on, then you open the camera lens. There's always a closed attachment to the camera lens. Open it, then you open your monitor. The camera has a monitor, a slide where a place that looks like a television, that you see whatever you're seeing. Then you look for where you have a red knob that will show you record knob. It's called record knob. Immediately you press record, your camera is on. Whatever you see from that lens is what your camera is recording. So that's basically how to use camera. For your phone, your camera is there. Immediately you just open your camera, you see the spot that says video. Immediately you press video, it starts recording. Always remember, please, remember to shoot for some seconds. Immediately you on your camera, remember to shoot anything for some seconds and monitor what you have shot to ensure that your camera is recording, your memory card is recording. Please, before you go into the proper shoot, always remember, always turn off your camera when you're not using it. When you're not using it, turn it off, don't keep it on. Make sure all your batteries are charged. Don't swing your camera. Carry your camera like a baby. In fact, in my experience, in my 20-something years of experience in filmmaking, I always advise people, your camera should be your first love. Should be your first love. But I had experience where I was telling someone that even if you're on Okada, you have accident, you enjoy all yourself, but don't enjoy the camera. Don't enjoy your camera, because if you have a project you are commissioned by MTN or you're commissioned by NIFAAS, and they've given you all the money, deliver. You go to Zungeri, you come back and say you had an accident and the camera crashed. They will not listen to you. They'll just arrest you. So it's better you have accident and you are in the hospital and the camera comes back and they'll continue their project. They'll even pay you more. So just on a lighter note, always carry your camera like a baby. It's advisable. All right, we'll go to the 7th stage. This is a very, very, very interesting stage. How do we film, especially interviews? Always understand that interviews are usually discussions between the interviewer and interviewed, and it's geared towards getting options from experienced person. Always have that at the back of your mind whenever you want to run an interview. Always, to get the best result, always ensure that the person you're interviewing is relaxed before you start filming. Put the person in a relaxed mood. Talk with the person. Introduce yourself nicely. Know the person very well. Let the person be familiar with you. Then you can start to interview. Always choose a background that will not be distracting. You don't take someone that is wearing black and you're going to put the person in the dark background or blue background. No, or the black background. No. Always put someone in a background that is not distracting, or background that will be conflicting with the color, that will be in conformity with the color of the person's costume. Avoid that. Avoid that. If you have someone on black, you put the person on a brighter color background. Don't shoot against the sun. Don't shoot against the sun. Whenever you're running an interview, avoid people moving behind the person you're interviewing. The interviewee, avoid people movement here and there too much. No, most times it's distracting. Unless you have a very wonderful lens that will give you what we call depth of field. Depth of field, where that is the situation whereby your subject is pronounced, then the depth is blurred. So whatever that is moving cannot distract the people watching. So avoid too much movement, maybe in front of your camera or behind your camera, unless for specific purpose you can plant and say, okay, just cross, basically, but it's not necessary. Always avoid it. The questions should always be asked as an open question. Always ask questions like, who do you think did this? What is the meaning of this? When was this done? Where did this happen? And how? Just that, always ask open questions. Don't throw questions that will make the person to start telling you histories, endless histories. You don't even know where to cut in the interview. Most times it's not. The person you're interviewing should be able to give you direct answers. Direct answers. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Ensure that every answer is complete. Don't cut the person so that you have smoothed it. Listen to answers very well. Where you are not sure, ask again. Rephrase the question and ask. During edit, have enough cutaways to illustrate what the person has said. Always follow. Collect full names on the field. In fact, whenever you are interviewing someone, give the person to write his name himself, unless the person cannot write. Unless the person cannot write. But if it's someone that can write, let the person write his name or herself by itself, or give you a complimentary card. Collect full names. Don't go at home and you're calling somebody. You have a minister you interview and then you get home and you're calling him. Please, what is the spelling of that your name? No. Then during, always get ready, get your questions ready before the interview. In fact, most times I tell people, if you finish your question, the person you're going to interview, send it to the person, let the person go through and get prepared. Ensure your microphones are working before you start filming. How do you do that? Immediately you set up your camera, you set up everything, you set up your microphone, you tell the person, please, sir, can you say something? Or please, ma'am, can you say something? Say one or two things. You ensure that the person is saying what you're hearing, then you record. Immediately you record, you play back and ensure that that thing is recorded so that you don't go out of that place, you don't have audio. Always use the lapel mic. Now, some people call it lapel mic, some people call it pin mic, some people call it radio mic. Always use it during interview. That mic that you pin on the person, and hide the cable. Don't let the cable, don't expose the cable. Wear the mic inside, hide the cable. But lapel mic gives you crispy sound. It gives you crispy sound. Next slide. Next slide. Put the recording, the microphone recording in manual and check your sound level. Don't let your sound level cross. If you have a camera that you're recording direct, take your sound level. Don't let it cross 6 or 5 bars. Or some cameras will show you blue, yellow, and red. Don't let it spill over the yellow. Let it be between the yellow down, or a little above at the end of the yellow. If you get to the red, it is giving you, it will disturb you in post-production. The sound will be too high. Then tell the interviewer to talk and respond only to the questions you're asking. Always, you discuss all that before you start to interview the person. Frame the interview to look from the nose room. I will tell us that the interview, they don't always interview someone and you tell the person to face the camera straight. It's not always advisable. If you watch CNN, you watch most of these international channels, you find out that the person that is being interviewed, the interviewee, is not looking at the interviewer direct. It's not looking at the camera direct. It looks at an angle. It's called nose room or looking room. It's called nose room or looking room. You must keep the person at an angle where the person is looking from, an angle not directly at the camera. It is only news that you see to the camera. So always maintain a nose room or a looking room. Position the camera at the same eye level. The same level that that person that you interviewed is seated. Let your camera be on that same level. Don't always use high angle. The camera is above the person as if the camera is looking down on the person, or low angle. the camera is beneath the person. I say the camera is looking up on the person. Let it be on the same level. Even you that will be the interviewer, you also sit at the same level so that the person's eye level will not be looking either up or down, but on the same level with the camera. Don't film under heavy sun. I've said that before. Avoid heavy sun. Go to environment that is calm. The weather is calm. Don't talk at the same time with the interviewee. No, it's not advisable. Let the person speak. After speaking, there you can ask any question. Always do translations on the field. It's always safer. I said that earlier. Get a Yoruba man that can speak English to translate the Yoruba right there on the field. Next slide. Now, there are basic shots that you need to know when you're filming, whether with your phone or with a camera. These are basic shots. Basic, they are basic. There are other shots, but these basic shots is either you're taking a wide shot. A wide shot is that shot that accommodates both your subject and the entire environment. In fact, it's only the first shot to take most times to tell people, we call it safety shot. Your subject on an environment, you want to tell them that, look, we are shooting in a compound, or we are shooting in a street, or we are shooting in that wide shot is wide and the subject is always smaller. Or you're taking a long shot. A long shot is the one that from a distance, the subject is very tiny. From a distance, a very long distance, you're taking that shot. Probably you want to show and run at which the person is standing is different from the wide shot. The wide shot cannot be taken. It's not always taken from a distance, a very long distance, though. Even far from the subject, but it's not always from a very long distance. So the long shot is basically to also accommodate the environment and to show the relationship of your subject, what you're discussing, to the full environment. Next slide. Okay, there's a medium shot. This is a shot that accommodates the subject from the tip of the hair. The medium shot is that shot that accommodates the subject from the tip of the hair to a little beneath the belt level. A little beneath the belt level. What we do in video making, you don't take shots that you dismember your subject. What do I mean? You don't take a shot where you take from the hair, you go to any of the joints. Your shot must be beneath any joint, either beneath your neck, beneath the neck, the shoulder, or beneath the belt level. You don't take shots that will cut the knee, the ankle, the elbow, the neck. No, those are not good shots. So your medium shot is that shot that accommodates the subject from the tip of the head to a little beneath the belt level. Then we'll have a close-up shot. A close-up shot, that's the shot that takes your subject from the hair to a little above the shoulder. Then we have an extreme close-up, what some people call tight shot. It's more of that shot that takes your subject from the forehead to the chin. From chin, extreme. It basically is for you to show details, maybe emotion, pride, and the rest of it. Every shot framing, next slide. Next slide. Every shot in framing or composition of shots must obey the rule of thirds. If you look at this slide, you can see that there are 3 vertical, 2 vertical and 2 horizontal lines that is dividing. This is a TV screen. It's dividing that screen into 9 equal parts. Now, when you're taking a shot, if you look down there, you will see 2 shots. You'll see 2 shots that are taken. One is a bad shot, The other one is a good shot. Now, the good shot is that shot that takes a two-third of that 9 position. That it means that it's covering, the good shot is covering the upside of the right, a little of the center, a little of the downside of the left. So you see that the subject is placed a little to the right, with a distance on the left. That distance on the left is what is called the nose room. That's the looking room. That's how a good interview is supposed to look. This one that is marked bad is a bad interview. So every visual image must obey the rule of third. Always make sure that the subject is placed at this intersection point to produce a more natural composition of frame. By doing this, the video maker is said to have obeyed the rule of third. You must obey the rule of third. Always in your mental, divide your screen. Divide your screen into these 9 positions and place them. All right, we are in the next slide. Whenever you're going to the field, the next slide. Hello, doctor. Okay, fine.
Hello, Mr. Promise, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I am suggesting you stop here for today and summarize.
Okay, so we just have 7 slides to go, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow, and I'll get a camera and
yes, and now do the
the demonstrations here.
So that people can have, if there's any question or suggestion or comment, so that people can do that before our time is up.
All right, no, no problem. These slides, I hope they are also going to have them.
Yes, yes.
All right, all right, all right.
Normally we'll share the slides on our WhatsApp group.
Okay, 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 no problem. All right, okay, so I can continue.
I am suggesting we'll stop at this 9th slide so that tomorrow you'll run down from the 10th one to the end and we have some hands-on.
All right, I appreciate. I don't know if there are 1 or 2 things that anybody want to ask. I can attend to that before we close. What you need to understand is, first of all, video making is not a difficult thing. It's like what you do with your eyes. You see pictures every day, you see images every day, and those images you see every day, you interpret them in your brain and you decide what they are. That's what the camera does. And each day you go out, you come back home, you discuss, or within yourself or with your family, you discuss what has transpired. That's the story that you tell. That's when you're telling stories to either yourself or you're trying to interpret what transpired in the day within yourself or with your family or loved ones. You are telling you are somehow narrating a story, a script. And those things you are painting images are the pictures you're seeing. That's what camera does. That's what video is all about, you know. So I appreciate the time. I want to believe by tomorrow we'll do more justice to what we have. I will get a camera tomorrow and some other things and show us how to go about it. Thank you. I'll listen to maybe 1 or 2 comments or questions.
All right, thank you very, very, very much. I don't know, okay, I think someone is raising hand. I think I saw a hand up now.
It's me.
Okay, please, Prof, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Promise, for the beautiful one.
Thank you, sir.
The first one is several times when a movie is on, or I think maybe towards the end or at the beginning, I can't remember. I see screenplay. I got it right. Who is responsible for this? Then the other thing, again, when the essential crew members are listed, starts, the very last name I see is that director of photography or the director or something like that. Is there a particular order they list out how the names of Hello? Hello? Hello?
I think he is off.
Uh-oh.
Okay, he's with us. I am seeing his hand, but let Mr. Promise attend to Prof's question first. His microphone is muted. The facilitator, I'm trying to unmute him, but it's not going. Dr. Nagwa, please, can you try to unmute him? He's the one using Infinix Hot 7.
Madam, he's the one that muted himself.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If I heard the prof, the very first screenplay, who does the screenplay? He sees that. Okay, the script write the script. The script. Now, I want to discuss with all of us based on the fact that most of us are going to do more of documentaries. But when it comes to movie, when a script is written, there are no short descriptions to the script. Now we have professionals who do screenplay. A good director, a good film director, screenplays. That's an area. That's an area in filmmaking. So, yeah, the script also, the script write, most times script write do they write, and you see them also do their, so some of them have the knowledge of screenplaying. Screenplaying is attaching shots to the various actions that will happen in the written script. Yes. There's a second question you're there about. I didn't get that question. I would love to.
I want to ask, is there a particular order? You know, when the movie starts, after the show, for instance, Promise Productions, then they begin to write one by one, the crew members. At the very last, I can't remember, sometimes the very last member I see listed is either director or director of photography. Then the main film or movie starts. Is there a particular order? These things you ask.
Yes, there's a particular order in writing crew members. There's a particular order. Maybe by tomorrow I'll put it down, but the very first thing you see is always the story, then you see script, you see screenplay, you start seeing other thing, but usually the last person that comes is actually the director. The producer comes before the director. The director is usually the last person that comes in the order of writing crew.
All right, thank you very much. Prof, I hope you are satisfied.
Very, very satisfied. Thank you.
All right, so Dr. Issa, can we have your question? Your hand is up. Dr. Issa.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the presenter. My question is concerning the use of music, background music, or any other material that is not original. You didn't produce it. You're only importing it. Can you emphasize it vis-a-vis patenting and trying to run away from being hooked by somebody somewhere who have patent on his material? Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Dr. Issa. Thank you so much. Patenting and copyright is very, very is a criminal offense. But today, most of the TV content buying channels, they won't take any content from you if you don't have rights for the use of music and some footages. If even in YouTube, there are music that you use, there are footages that you use. They'll tell you that these footages they need to get your copyright permission. So it's not only that advisable. That's why I always say I'll be saying that your sounds and your sounds, your special effects, you create them yourself. You know, if you're going to use two, for instance, if I'm doing a documentary in the north and I'm here in the south, I want to use the music by someone. I'll need to use a music from of an artist that is from that part of the climate. What do I do when I get that? I need to get to the Copyright Commission office. I think they are here in Port Harcourt. They have it. Get to their office and get a permission. It might take you time most times. I get a permission and they give you the permission. They write to the person gives you the permission and you can use that music. You know, if not, you pay artists. I did a work for NDDC during the COVID-19. I did a work for them, and it was centered on Niger Delta. You know. So in the course of it, my client was saying I should use Victor Wifo's song as a soundtrack. And I told him, sir, this period I cannot go to Warri. I cannot go to, I don't know if it's in Benin or if it's in Warri. I can't go and look for him now. Please, I will need to create a music, you know. They said, are you going to get that out of me? I said, what do you want? Is it not highlight? I will get an artist that will do highlight for me. And I got artists, went to studio, they wrote the song, we finished it, we sent to my client. My client said, oh, this is wonderful. And they want to publish that song. You know, they want to publish that song. So most times, that music, that soundtrack that I did, I spent close to 300,000, 300 and some fraction of thousand. By paying artists and the rest of them. But I have it to myself. If my credit is mine, if I publish it, is for my own, it's my own credit. So most times for you to run away from copyright and patent, you create. It will last there for you for any time you want to do any work, it becomes yours. But if you use another person's own, you have to pay for it.
Thank you. Kindly emphasize relevance of music to the subject matter too, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, it's very important. It's very important. Now, if you're doing a film or a doco, music enhances the visuality. You know, there's this saying that music is life. You know, music enhances that story you want to tell. Now, always remember that if you're telling a story or you're doing a documentary, you must choose the type of music that will go in conformity with the story you are saying. You know, you must understand the type of music that goes in conformity with the story you're saying. If I'm doing a film, a docu film in Ebaland, I will look for the type of music that the Ebama will love. You know, but it also means that the story I'm saying must be something that music will not say something against. Because most times people don't understand. You don't just use music. The music you're using must say something about that story, that your theme, your subject matter. It has to say about it, so you don't have a conflict. You're saying something different, music is saying something different, or the music is too harsh, and your pictures are slow. You know, all these are things you need to understand. There's a documentary I did for BBC years gone by. It's about the is about the slum. If you enter Lagos, Jota, the first slum you meet, the first thing that welcomes you to Lagos is the stench of that Ojota slum. For those of us that have visited Lagos in the past, Now, when I wanted to start that documentary, I thought, what will I use? What type of music will I had to use reggae. Reggae is radical. Reggae is radical. I had to use a reggae music. Even if I didn't use the popular reggae music, I got an artist and he sang reggae for me. You hear the smell, and the rest of them, So you need to understand both the genre, the music you're saying must be in conformity to your theme and your subject matter. It's very vital.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
All right. Please, just a follow-up to Dr. Isa's question.
Okay.
I want to ask, for those of us maybe into climate change now, we want to do a documentary, and sometimes the real thing you want to show, you don't have the pictures, but maybe someone else have the picture. So it means you still have to go for the copyright for you to use those pictures. From your explanation now,
your pictures, are you
for
borrowing?
every content.
Yes.
Yeah, the pictures are not yours. You didn't snap the pictures yourself.
Okay, let me make it easy for you. You have a picture and you're borrowing from online. Now, if you go, some of the pictures you see stock pictures, stock. You understand me? Now, most of those pictures, if you click on them, you see how much it is for you to buy to use those pictures.
Yeah.
It's risky to use those pictures without paying for them. It's risky. If you want to get to international buyers, they will ask you. Even if you watch some of our TV channels, both our local and international TV channels, when they borrow from YouTube, they pay or they still give credit to YouTube. They say YouTube pictures or YouTube video. Now, the best way to escape that, because the process of most times getting those rights might deter you from even attending your project. The best way is, one, is either you are creating that, you get people to reenact that and you snap, it's your own, or you get an artist to sketch. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get an artist or someone that can sketch what you have in mind, what you want to, even if you get the picture offline, you get someone to sketch. That one, you sketching is your property. But immediately you are doing an international work that will undergo some vetting, you will need permission to use. And at the end of the day, after getting that permission, you will still, on your work, on your video, you still give credit to the owner. Yes, acknowledgement. The same thing that is, you acknowledge the same thing that happens in our research works, documentation, where you must acknowledge every source. It's the same thing that happens on video project.
Yeah.
Then another thing again, I didn't remember.
Very much.
Maybe I'll apply tomorrow. Finally, please, before you do, you don't when you're doing when you're hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, whenever you finish an interview or you finish an interview and you're giving you're writing the person's name. You're writing the person's name, please. In video making, you don't attach the person's qualification. Professionally, please have that at the back of your mind. You don't attach the person's qualification. You don't write chief, you don't write Mr., you don't write doctor, you don't write professor, just the person's name.
Like in research paper.
Hello?
I said just like in research paper too now, where you don't put professor.
Exactly.
Thank you.
God bless.
Finally, before we go, There's this problem for those of us that I try to use my phone to capture maybe short video.
Good.
Sometimes you see that maybe your hand just moved and the video maybe is a kind of shaking when you're viewing it.
Good.
So I don't know, is there any way one can, maybe when you're now editing, try to make it stable? Because you see your video is shaking.
Okay. All right. During edit, there is a software they call WAP stabilizer that you can use to stabilize shot, but it doesn't give you a guarantee. It's 50-50. So what we do in video filming is garbage in, garbage out. Your field is your best place to get the best shot. So what do? If you want to use your phone to video, please get a tripod. There is phone tripod. There is phone tripod. There is phone steady cam handler that you can buy. You can hold it. You attach your phone to it. Yes, you hold it. It's there. Whatever is the situation, there might be a little shaking, but it won't be that distorting to your audience. So you can get that. You get a tripod, there are phone tripod that you can get. You attach to your phone, and they stand steady too. So those are the things that can save you from having shaky shots. If not, on edit, the WAP stabilizer will do little or nothing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I don't know if there's any other question for Mr. Promise before we leave. We're already some minutes past our time. If there's any other question before we close for today? If not, can Dr. Issa please help us appreciate our facilitator so we formally close.
Well, it's been a very wonderful one. Having this comprehensive and well-detailed information. I want to believe enlightened and educated. Even those of us that have passed through similar, even those of us that are even more better informed now. Our horizon has been widened, and you know, we can't appreciate you enough. The CSA working group of NIFAAS. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. I want to thank you all for the opportunity. And I hope by tomorrow we'll have done more. And I want to see us working on the field. If you have any challenge, I'm open. You can call me. I'll tell you what to do and we'll get it done.
All right. Thank you very, very much to attend this evening's session. I so much appreciate you. Appreciate your activeness. We've been so busy this period, and some of us have been so dedicated to all the trainings we've been doing. It is very, very encouraging to invite people for training and they make themselves available. Thank you so much. Remember, tomorrow we complete this training. Please try also to be here tomorrow, same time, and we'll kick off 7 on the dot so that we'll be able to finish up tomorrow. Then on the 8th Sunday evening, we also complete the training on policy brief. Thank you so much. By next week, we'll now begin to put what we have learned into action with the various projects we are going to do. Thank you. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night,
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, and good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.